Some notable transfers to talk you through. Mason Greenwood to Marseille for 31.7 million. Savinho official now to Manchester City. Serhou Guirassy going from Stuttgart after a brilliant season to Borussia Dortmund. And Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang taking his talents to Saudi Arabia. But Julien Laurens is still with us, and it is Victor Osimhen we want to talk about, and some PSG potential transfers as well. Jules, tell us what the latest is with Victor Osimhen to PSG.
Well, the latest is I was told that there was more discussions today between Napoli and PSG on Victor Osimhen. PSG initially, earlier in the transfer window, targeted Kvaratskhelia. We all knew this, except that the new Napoli coach, Antonio Conte, and Aurelio De Laurentiis, the Napoli owner, said, listen, Kvaratskhelia, it's not possible. He's got a long-term contract until 2027. He's not for sale. We won't let him go. We won't open the door. There's Osimhen, though, if you want, because there was an agreement between Osimhen and his people in Napoli that this was his last season, the one that just finished, that he will be able to leave if there was a good offer on the table. And I think Antonio Conte is aware of that, very much so. So the door is very much open for Osimhen. The release clause is 130 million euros, which PSG are not going to pay, and Napoli don't expect PSG or anybody else to pay that because Osimhen hasn't been as good last season than he was the season before when Napoli won the league. So right now the discussions are around 60 million euros plus 10, maybe 65 plus 15 in bonuses. This is where we're at. I think Napoli could be quite happy with that. They have found their replacement of Osimhen. Obviously, as you know, it would be Romelu Lukaku, be reunited again with Antonio Conte. But Lukaku is much cheaper than Osimhen. He's much older, but much cheaper than Osimhen. So I think even if Napoli don't get the whole 130 million euros, I think they'd be quite happy with something around the 70 million euros.
How would he fit in? Obviously, there's a few forwards to choose from already at PSG, Jules. Where would he fit in? And would it be a good fit for him, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, if obviously arriving, he would be straight at the number 9 position in the PSG 4-3-3, in the Luis Enrique 4-3-3, with the two wingers that would be Dembele and Barcola, Dembele and maybe somebody else on that other side. And that means that Randal Colomwani and Gonzalo Ramos, the other two number 9s in the squads, won't get much minutes, so they will think about their future. We know that Gonzalo Ramos is kind of like thinking about leaving. I was looking for another word, but really thinking about leaving. He wanted to stay, but he knows that if Osimhen arrives, there's no point for him to stay. Atletico Madrid lost Alvaro Morata, who went to AC Milan. So now Atletico Madrid are looking for a number 9, and they like Gonzalo Ramos a lot. So that could maybe be something that happens. Gonzalo Ramos to Atletico Madrid, Osimhen to PSG, and everybody is happy. You've mentioned that Serhou Guirassy has gone to Borussia Dortmund, who are about to lose Niklas Füllkrug to AC Milan probably as well. Would Dortmund look for another striker and bring Colomwani back to Germany? Potentially, but I'm not sure how much offers there would be for Colomwani there. So I can see Gonzalo Ramos leaving, Osimhen arriving on PSG, and Colomwani being the backup of Osimhen in the squad.
There's something else we are seeing, Jules, when it comes to PSG, is that the priority is João Neves from Benfica. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Jorge Mendes, who is João Neves' agent, who is obviously also Gonzalo Ramos' agent, and also, by the way, Leny Yoro's agent, who we mentioned was linked to PSG and now has gone to Manchester United. It's a very busy summer so far for Jorge Mendes. And for João Neves, it's interesting because the chat that we had on Leny Yoro, you could have a similar one in a way on João Neves. Okay, João Neves plays for Portugal. He was in the Euro squad. He's played Champions League football. He's played for Benfica for 2 seasons now. He's won the league. So it's slightly different, but still, you get me. He's a 19-year-old, still very young, who still only played in Portugal, never outside of Portugal, domestic-wise. So if PSG go and spend 70 million on him, it's a lot of money. It's a big gamble. But they really like the profile that he has. They like the fact that he's a ball-playing defensive midfielder, really, really comfortable on the ball, can create as well, can play under pressure, can receive the ball with his back to goal. All those things that Luis Enrique likes, but also can run forever, can break down the opposition's attacks, can recover the ball. He's got really the whole package. But he had the whole package at Benfica. It's a different story than to go abroad in the Premier League, in France, anywhere else, and play for a club like PSG with the ambitions that they have. So we'll have to see. But again, the negotiations are going well. And Benfica have a release clause for him, but they know that they won't get that amount of money. So if they get something around, again, the 70 million instead of the 100 million that they want, there's probably a deal that could be done there.
Oh, there's some big bucks being spent on youngsters this summer.
I know. Some agents are making a few quid as well, isn't it?
Do you think it's just the way it's going now, Stevie?
Oh,
Or do you still get surprised when you see these fees for such young players?
Yeah, I got to tell you, yeah. I don't know whether I'm more surprised about the fees for the players than the fees for the agents. Yeah, no, I'm not. No, the fees for the agents surprise me more. I get it. If you've got money and you're bringing in a lot of money and you have to pay what you got to pay to get a player, then I get that. But the agent's fee thing, just it's beyond. It's beyond real.
We've got a question from our control room tonight. Did you just win or lose that argument that you just had with yourself?
Yeah, I want it. I was trying to stay on the side of the players, but then when I thought about it, no. I mean, how an agent can turn around and say, right, you need to give me 10 million to get this deal done, and they say okay, is beyond me. The only thing that hits me is there's a smell going on somewhere. There's a smell somewhere. That 10 million is going different places.
Right,
Let me put it that way.
I've never heard somebody make a point and then say, no, you're wrong there, to himself.
Aye.
That's a first. That's a first.
Do you think you won it, though? Do you think you won the argument with himself?
I did. Yeah.
Well, if you say so.
Okay. Yep. We should let Jules go now. Because obviously...
Because he's on holiday.
He's on holiday.
No, he's charging double. He's charging double for this. Never mind that.
For us. Thank you so much for being with us, Jules.